Hey friends, on today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about why your business needs to be part of a coaching group. Stay tuned. When I first started out in business, I couldn't afford to be a part of a coaching group. I couldn't afford a coach. I didn't even know why I needed one, but I knew that I needed help. And so that was one clue. And through talking with some mutual friends of mine, they hooked me up with a mentor, a woman who owned a business, and she had a lot of knowledge about running your own business as a female. And so I would meet with her probably about every 3 months or so. I'd pay her $100 every time we met for an hour. We'd meet at Starbucks and we'd sit down and we would talk about all the questions I had because I had a huge long list. And I would go through and I'd say, okay, here's an idea I have. What do you think of this? And, and of course, let me just say this. I always crowdsource my friends and my family. That's a given. But I wanted some professional help. And I was at a point in my business where I quit my day job after 6.5 years of trying to get that side hustle off the ground. And I finally did, and I quit my day job. And I knew that the stakes were high. I knew I had to succeed in this business or I had to go back to my old job and ask for it. And no entrepreneur wants to go back and ask for their old job back. And so I finally decided I was going to join Toby Fairley's group, and it's Design You. And I felt like I had followed Toby for years. I knew that she knew a lot about business. I knew she was knowledgeable. I really liked her. I aligned with her values. And so I joined her group, and it was just under $3,000 for the year. And when I joined, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I have the money for this. I put it on my credit card, and I just worked my tail off to pay it off, and I got it paid off in a couple months. And I cannot tell you how joining that group has changed my business. I finally started making some money. And I got her mentorship. I got input from other people in the business and got ideas from them as well and began to implement. Like anything she said to do, I did because I was paying her to tell me what to do. I had ideas and I came to her with ideas. What do you think of this? Is this a good idea? Should I go in this direction? Have you found? And so she would talk about from her experience what things worked and what things didn't. So that changed my business for the year. And I actually created my first course while I was in her business. So big thanks, big shout out to Toby Fairley and her Design You program because it was amazing and it changed my business. And then I joined Selena Sue's Impact Accelerator. And this group was all about learning how to get good publicity for your business and how to write pitches and how to write hooks and how to form these relationships and how to sell to people without it being gross and slimy, but that you're serving them. And so that was a huge change for my business. And now I'm in a different group. It's called Digital Insiders. Julie Chanel is our leader and our mentor and coach. And there are 100 other people in this group. And I cannot tell you how much this has helped my business. I mean, each time I take a step into a different coaching group, year after year, my business has changed. And so I was just at a business retreat this past week. And let me tell you the reason why it's so important to be part of a coaching group. And I'm going to let a few other people share at the retreat because I asked them, what's your take? Why would you want to do a business retreat? Why would you want to be a part of a coaching group? What does it do for your business? Well, number one, for me, it gives me all kinds of ideas. It provides community, so I'm not alone. And you're going to hear other people talk about this as well because it's the same for all of us as entrepreneurs. When you have a little bit of skin in the game and you have to pay for a coaching group, that is great because it makes you accountable to doing whatever the coach or the group is pushing you to do, and it's out of your comfort zone. It gets your skin in the game, and you have to do that in order to make yourself move forward in your business. So let's take a listen to what some other people said about what a coaching group does for them.
For me, being in a coaching group, one, it's about learning and having support and basically just getting confidence around what I'm doing and kind of like having somebody say, yeah, that's the right way to go.
I think for me, I have a team, I have a relatively large company. And when you're the person that everyone else comes to for answers, you're constantly pouring into them, right? Like you're constantly trying to show up for them in a way that's inspiring and leads them well. And then it's like, where do you go? Right? So I think it's really important that you have peers as a leader because, as they often say, it's lonely at the top. And it's true, right? And that you have that go to network, but then also that you're getting constant feedback. And one thing I've noticed is people who don't have consistent coaching tend to plateau.
I think for me, like, it's like a necessity in my business because I do so much alone and I spend so much time alone that it really like reboots me and motivates me. Plus, it's like so great for getting ideas when you're at different stages in your business.
The mastermind for me gives me like a sense of community amongst other people who are kind of on the same trajectory that I am with my business, and it can get really lonely in business if you don't have like a core group to surround yourself with. You get that mentorship, you get the connection, the community, like it's all of those things for me that kind of roll into that one perfect solution.
Many of you may know that my good friend Sarah from Simply Southern Cottage and I hosted a retreat this past April. It's called the Pink Creatives Retreat. I have my shirt on here. And it was a retreat for women who own creative businesses. So it's not all makers, although there were some makers there. We had artists. We had graphic designers. We had an interior designer there. We had someone who did concierge service there. Someone else who planned special dinners and dinner parties for people. So people came from all walks of life. And there were a few people who came who weren't quite sure what their niche should be for their business. They had a lot of ideas, but they weren't quite sure yet. And so we were able to give them clarity. Now at this retreat, Sarah and I poured into them all the information that we know. We didn't hold anything back. We told them exactly how much money we made last year, how we made that money. We broke it down for them. Now we are actually doing another retreat October 2nd through the 4th. And we still have a few spots available. We do expect to sell out, but if you want to snag one of those spots for you and your creative business, I'm going to put the link in the description below. It is pinkcreatives.com. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to email me, hello@pinkcreatives.com. We are so excited to do this. And if you have a creative business, even if you can't come to our retreat, let's say you live in Australia and you can't fly here to the US, make sure that you join some kind of retreat, some kind of coaching group, so that you can get motivated and push your business forward too, and avoid the loneliness, get the good ideas, and get some skin in the game. All right, until next week, friends, I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.